Well, hi-ho folks, and welcome back to the adventures of Turwinkle, the Gnome Mage. Well, hi Turwinkle.
Salutations.
Are you all set for tonight, sir?
Affirmative.
Well, great, because tonight we are going to go and talk with the Te Amun Guild, a wonderful Draenei guild. And so without any further ado, let us head on over to Auchindoun and find out all about this awesome guild, the Te Amun Guild. Alrighty folks, well Turwinkle's made it safe and sound here to Auchindoun, and we're looking for this guild. Now let's see here. Now there is Auchindoun, and it looks wonderful actually. All the spires and the great dome, and oh, here they are, the Te Amun Guild. And right up front, and look at this, they all look great there on their mounts, they look awesome. And right up front here, if we can see her over her talbook, is Aeiia, the Exarch of Te Amun. Aeiia, the Light of Dawn, is a level 100 Draenei Paladin. Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
It's so awesome to meet you and talk about your guild tonight. I can't wait to learn all about you guys.
Well, great. Good to meet you too.
All right, so if I could have everybody dismount. And we're going to meet everyone here. The mounts all looked awesome, by the way. All right, so let us go ahead and meet these fine folks you brought with you, and we will start right down here. And you guys are all so big. Okay, let me... All right, starting right here, ma'am.
So to our left, we have Rua, and Rua's been with us a while. Rua's been with us since probably before Wrath. She's the Light Warden and the head healer in our guild, and appropriately, she's the head of our spiritualist house too, which I'm sure we'll get to later. And she's also the mate to Epelvik, and she's been a huge help here, probably one of our core officers.
Oh, awesome. Very nice to meet you, Rua. And next
is Epelvik, which is Rua's mate. He's probably joined us, I think, in the Cataclysm era, and he's the head of the civilian house. And he's also the Justicar that's in charge of all the in-character legal matters in the guild.
Oh, awesome. Again, I've always loved the Draenei race, and you guys always look so great. Okay. Always so big. Okay, next.
And then we have Garoda, who is also in charge of the civilian house. And she joined us, I think, in Cataclysm era. She's also our treasurer who manages our any events that have to do with any kind of cash flow and our guild bank and the ins and outs of that. And she's also one of the game masters of Kalamar, which is an event that we'll probably talk about later, but it's a traditional Draenic event that we do pretty frequently.
Okay, great. And I'll be talking to her after the interview to get my my payment. So, excellent. Okay, next.
And this is Aeiia, and she's fairly new to us, but she's been amazing, and she is the mate to Vascos, and she is our cultural liaison. So she is the one who handles a lot of the affairs between our Draenic order and orders that consist of other races, in which there could be a lot of cultural clashes and miscommunication. So she kind of smooths everything over and acts as the bridge between us and anybody else that we kind of need to communicate culturally or politically with.
Oh, okay, so we'll be seeing her in New Tinkertown sometime soon?
Probably so.
Oh, excellent.
Excellent.
Alrighty, and next.
Let me see. And then next is, I think, Talandris. Let me see.
You are correct.
Yeah, that's Talandris. So Talandris is the Soul Keeper. She handles affairs of the deceased and the spiritually broken. She kind of acts as Aeia's right hand to manage some of her household, probably along with Garoda.
All right. Awesome. Oh, let the ghost go through. All righty. And next?
And then next we have Baravik, and Baravik is new to us as well. And we really look forward to seeing what he brings to the table, but I think he's pretty brand spanking new.
All right. Well, we always love new members, don't we? Fresh blood in the guild. Yeah. All right. Well, there's the first row, folks. And when we come back, we are going to meet the second row. So we'll be right back with that. Alrighty, folks, and we are back, and we have got the second row here. And so start us off, ma'am.
And to our left, we have Kadala, who's been with us probably, I'm thinking, a couple of months, and she's been fairly active in our guild and is a pretty solid role player, and we're glad to have her here.
Oh, excellent. And next?
Next, we have Rane, and she's also fairly new. And we really enjoyed having her pretty much right off the bat, and she's also fairly new to us.
Great. Again, nothing like having fresh blood in the guild to keep it, revitalized, fresh roleplay. It's always nice, isn't it?
It really is. It's we're always seeing a, not necessarily a revolving door of people, but we're always getting a lot of new blood in with the old. It's a healthy thing.
Well, especially with the new expansion coming up here in probably a year or so, you will start seeing a lot of people returning and looking for homes, and hopefully they'll find one here in the Te Amun. So, excellent. And next?
Next, we have Vindicator Vascos, and he is the head of our Protectorate Order, and he is also a great recruiter along with Rua. And he's really been an integral part, even though he's probably the newest of our core officer. He fit in here pretty much like he belonged here, so it was good from the start.
Oh, great. Awesome. And next?
And then next we have Vocal, and Vocal is also new to us.
All right, great. Again, the shoulders on these guys are just ginormous. I think Turwinkle would Turwinkle would fit in one. Alrighty, and next?
Next we have Phyrus, and he's also, probably along with Vascos, one of our Forge Masters of the Order. And he has been with us, oh gosh, I'd say probably maybe 5 or 6 months, and he's done really well and fit in, and he definitely has a home here as well.
Great. Alrighty, and last but not least, ma'am?
Next we have Alexei. Alexei's been with us for quite a while, and I'd say just recently he's really become more involved with us, and we're really glad for it.
Alrighty, folks, well, there they are. Again, these fine, fine folks in this awesome guild, Te Amun. And so, coming up next, we're going to find out what that guild is all about and why they're here. So we'll be right back as we start this fun interview. Alrighty, folks, and we are back. And so, Aeiia, the first question that we always have is, how did you come up with the name Te Amun for the guild?
Te Amun is actually a piece together from what we could piece together of the Draenic language, from original lore and some fan lore, a lot of NPC and flavor text, and ultimately it translates to the cherished and the faithful, since the Draenei do hold their faith and their strength in high esteem.
Oh, awesome. And how long did that take you guys to come up with?
Oh, we probably came up with it was probably a few years ago, so I probably couldn't tell you how long it took. I'm kind of picky with names, so I imagine probably a few days.
Well, it certainly is unique, and I really like that. And I think when a guild can incorporate not only a great name, but make it fit the guild, I think that's awesome. Now, well, I guess that goes to our next question. So what kind of guild are you guys? Are you guys a heavy roleplay guild? Do you guys PvE, PvP, raid, do battlegrounds? What kind of guild is it?
Yes, so we're a heavy RP guild, and we will have some groups that engage in some casual PvP, which I'm part of, or those who like to raid. Some of it's old achievement content, some of it's a lot more current, and that's very secondary to our main goal and our main kind of way that we like to enjoy the game, which is through heavy RP and specifically Draenic roleplay.
Well, awesome. And so, folks, when we come back, we're going to find out what the storyline is behind the guild, because, again, they are a heavy roleplay guild, and so I'm sure there's an amazing story behind it, and we are going to find out what that is next. Alrighty, folks, and we are back, and we are talking the storyline behind the guild. So, Aeiia, what is that story?
So originally, back when the Draenei left Argus and they would make settlements on different planets, they tended to organize their settlers into temples that were like city-states or temples that were almost cities in their own right because they were so huge. And Te Amun was one of them. And originally, Aeian used to be a shield of Valen, which is one of Valen's personal guard, and just over the ages and through time, she got more involved politically and became an exarch of a territory known and named as Te Amun. And then fast forwarding more to around the era in which World of Warcraft takes place, Te Amun became much less of a single place or a temple, and it became more of a faction. And this faction of Draenei doesn't necessarily adhere to a lot of Valen's directives. They have sometimes a more, I feel, pragmatic and practical point of view on how to handle things, especially politically and culturally. First and foremost, they serve Draenic interests, so they're not necessarily basing a lot of their decisions on the alliance and the hot mess of politics that is there. So their first and foremost goal is to preserve and protect Draenic culture, whether or not that may involve taking some measures that a lot of Draenei may deem a little unsavory sometimes, but ultimately it's to preserve a race that's kind of on the verge of going extinct.
Ah, well, that is an awesome storyline. I love that, especially utilizing not only headcanon, but utilizing a lot of the lore within the game. And how much have you enjoyed all the lore that you've gotten out of this last expansion?
It's been pretty good. I mean, I think we always are hungry for more, but we were really excited, and we like having other places to roleplay, and it's perfect in this expansion for Te Amun to be here, which provides a home for all kinds of Draenei that may come from many, many different backgrounds, from civilians to menders, soldiers, everything. So pretty much any kind of Draenei can find a home here.
All right, excellent. So, folks, when we come back, we're going to find out how you can join the guild. And so we're going to talk about the prerequisites for getting in next. Alrighty, folks, we are back. And Aeiia, I am a new person watching this episode, and I have a Draenei looking for a home. So I am looking to get into the guild. So we have a couple people that are going to answer those questions for us today, don't we?
Yes, so today answering those questions about recruitment are our officers that handle the majority of the recruitment, and that would be Vindicator Vascos and Light Warden Rua.
All right, excellent. Okay, Rua, starting with you, ma'am. I'm a new player. I am loving this episode, so I want to join the guild. So first and foremost, who do I talk to, ma'am?
Well, Turwinkle, you could talk to any officer in the guild. Our officers obviously are myself, Rua, Vascos, Epelvik, Garoda, Aeiia. Any of them you could talk to. Vascos and I might be the best to talk to there.
Oh, excellent. And Vascos, sir, is there an age restriction getting into the guild?
We prefer if people are over 18, but if there is someone who proves themselves mature, an exception might be made, but generally speaking, we want members to be over 18 years old.
Right, and again, why have the restriction there?
Well, the restriction is just to be considerate of our guild chat. We do have a channel that we call Te Amun After Dark, where more of the saucy topics might be discussed. But in general, we just try to put that line there so that we can make sure that we're getting mature members, as well as people who can have the maturity to maturity to handle a responsible environment.
All right, and that's fair. It's certainly fair. Now, Rua, is there a class or race restriction getting into the guild?
There is. While we don't have any class restrictions, we are a Draenei-only guild. Existing members are entirely welcome to have their other races join as out-of-character alts, but only a Draenei may be an in-character member of Te Amun.
Whoa. Excuse me, ma'am. If Turwinkle wanted to join, are you saying Turwinkle could not join because he's a gnome.
While we love our gnome friends, he could not in character join.
Wow.
Te Amun.
Wow. Okay. That's certainly fine, and a great place for a Draenei to come and call home, correct?
Yes.
All right. Now, Vascos, is there a level requirement to get into the guild?
Yes, the general level requirement is level 30, but nowadays with heirlooms and everything else, it doesn't really take that long to get in there, but mainly we're just trying to see that someone's putting effort into a character, so that tells us something about them.
Right, and, nobody levels as slow as Turwinkle, so, generally that is, maybe a day's worth of work, and you could get to level 30 really quickly, especially if you hit all the dungeons and whatnot. I mean, that experience just really flies. So, excellent. And, Rua, is there an IC or OOC interview that I have to go through to get in?
There is. In addition to out-of-character application, you do have to have an interview with at least one of the officers. We all have our own interview styles, though, so depending on who you get, it could be a vastly different experience.
Okay, and so by application, does that mean you folks have a website folks have to go to?
We do. We have an engine website. We do require everyone to apply out of character just to make sure they sign up for the website. If you'd like to know about that, that's teamun.engine.com.
Oh, excellent. And do they have all the prerequisites there on the website as well?
Yes. We highly encourage anyone applying to read our rules, and all of that's on there.
Okay, so Rua, if you were doing an in-character interview of a person, what are you looking for?
Basically, we're looking for things like a good grasp of spelling, grammar, and lore. We want a more serious character. We generally don't accept, how to describe it, joke characters. So if your character is a little on the silly side, that's one thing, but things that are mockery of roleplay, we don't accept. So as long as you adhere to lore, you're going to be good to go.
Okay, so my Draenei character called Noodleface probably wouldn't make it in.
Probably not.
Okay.
Probably not.
Alrighty. And finally, Vascos, do I have to know how to roleplay to get into the guild?
That's a very good question, Turwinkle. I'm glad you asked. There are some people who come to us who say, I love everything about the Draenei, obviously with the expansion that we're in, and they want to RP a Draenei, but maybe they're new to the lore, or maybe they're just new to RP in general. So what I like to do is we'll have some applications where people admit those things, right? And maybe normally we wouldn't accept them, but they've expressed the desire to learn. So what we like to do is we assign them basically an RP coach, in a sense. And sometimes that's me, sometimes that's a friend of ours in the guild named Kashi, who will help people out with a focus on them. And what we do is I'll ask them oftentimes, do you like to read or do you like to watch videos? And depending on what they pick, I'll either send them to Noble's YouTube videos about lore in Warcraft, or I might send them to short stories that WoW has on their website to kind of familiarize them with it. And then over the course of a week or two, we'll do practice RP, nothing consequential, just to kind of ease them into it. And so far, it's been very well received. I think a lot of people know that not every guild offers this, so the people that have taken advantage of it have been very appreciative and very excited to be a part of it.
Oh, well, excellent. And might I offer, you could also send them to the Looking for Roleplay podcast, the podcast about roleplay and everything around it. That's right, folks, Looking for Roleplay podcast, starring yours truly, Turwinkle. Okay. Excellent, guys, and an excellent set of prerequisites to get in this awesome guild. And so, folks, when we get back, Turwinkle has fooled them all, made a Draenei character disguise, and has made it into the guild. And so we're going to find out what the rules he has to follow are next. So we'll be right back with that. Alrighty, folks, and we are back. And so, Aeiia, we are talking about rules now. Turwinkle's made it into the guild, and so we need to know what rules we're following. And we have a couple of people ready to talk about that, don't we?
I gotta talk to the recruitment officers about letting you in the guild.
Well, his disguise is really good, man.
That's fair enough. So for taking the lead, I guess, on the rules, we have Justikar Epelvik and Treasurer Garota, and they will be talking about the in-character and out-of-character aspects on the guild rules.
Alrighty, and so we'll start with Epelvik. So, sir, I am here in the guild, so what are the rules that I have to follow now that I'm in the guild?
Well, our in-character rules are pretty simple and mostly go around to ensuring the out-of-character ones are kept followed, and it mostly just goes towards respect for the leaders of the houses to make sure that their wishes are followed and that their, I want to say orders, but their requests or whatever are adhered to and carried out, essentially.
So the requests are kind of polite ways of demanding something, is that correct?
Exactly. Yeah. we don't say demanding, though. That's too rude.
Well, excellent. Yeah, pretty much follow the orders or requests given and find yourself in the good graces of those that are leading the guild, correct?
Exactly, and of course, make sure to keep yourself to how your character would act and all that sort of good stuff as well.
Alrighty, so Garada, what about out of character?
So out of character, we've got the usual kind of rules that I believe most guilds have. Just be nice to each other out of character. We don't want any animosity or negativity in guild chat or anything like that. As well, we always want members to, comport themselves well in out of character situations, not only within our guild, but out of the guild as well. So obviously you don't want people running around trolling in, Stormwind or anything like that, because it reflects badly back on us. As well, obviously there's no god modding, nothing like that, because that just doesn't make the experience fun for anyone. And actually we have a strict rule against going into Goldshire. Don't do that. We don't go into Goldshire in our guild. Please. Thanks.
Alrighty, well, actually, some pretty simple rules to follow, nothing too hard, with anybody that has some common sense, and I think you'll find that you're able to stay within the guild by following those very simple rules. So excellent. So when we come back, we're going to find out all about the ranks and what rank will be placed in as a new member, what the other ranks are, and how you can get promoted in between them. So we'll be right back with that. Alrighty, ma'am. We had someone show up between segments. So who do we have here?
We have Shatar, and Shatar is new to us, and he's in the initiate rank.
Oh, awesome. And it's great for you to join us here this evening, sir. And so if we'll have you step back in line. Thank you very much. All right, Adian. Turwinkle's brand new to the guild. He's made it in. Where is he placed as far as ranks are concerned?
So just like with Shatar, he will be placed in the initiate rank. And the initiate rank is the initial place where all the new blood is placed while they're looking for a different sect of the order to join. So after probably a little bit of time that they've spent with the guild and role-played, they will have a choice between the spiritualist, protectorate, and the civilian sects, and they all serve different purposes, have different events and different functions. So at that point, during the initiation ceremony, they will choose which house they want to go into, and then the leaders of that house will choose whether or not they want to accept them.
Okay, and do you demote people for when they do things like, fall asleep or go AFK while a meeting's going on? Like
that may happen.
Okay. See that it does, ma'am. Okay. We're just kidding. How long is somebody usually in the initiate rank?
That really depends entirely on the person and what's going on in the guild and with them as a role player. So an initiate, generally the more active someone is, they'll find themselves in a house quicker. So an initiate that maybe is only logging in once or twice a week and maybe sporadically attends events. I've seen some of them be in there as long as months, but it's really up to them how long they want to be an initiate as far as how active they want to be in the guild. And there's no right or wrong to it. It's just really about the time that they feel like they know where they want to go.
All right, excellent. And so what are the different divisions that are available to initiates to join?
So a new initiate can or well, I guess they may enjoy it, but join the Protectorate Order, which is currently led by Vindicator Vascos. And that is the order that is, I'm sure he'll go more into detail, but it's more of the military and side of the order. So things that may need to be handled a little more aggressively, etc. And that's basically what he runs. And then we also have the civilian section, which is everyone who is either obviously a civilian and may not have any warrior or vindicator or any kind of combat military training goes in there. And you can be a tradesman, craftsman, a lot of role players who may role play as children, etc. Maybe a little something outside the mold like that will find a home in civilians. And then lastly, we have our spiritualist sect, which is, as the name would suggest, where a lot of Draenei of a more spiritual persuasion go into that sect. So usually we'll see priests, shamans, some vindicators if they take a more clerical side to things will go there.
All right, so starting with Vascos. Vascos, tell us a little bit about your division and how you get promoted within that division.
All right, so as Aeiia said, the Protectorate is the military front of the organization. To advance in it, what I've been doing lately is I've been holding events where people can be featured in part of that event. For example, just last week we were at the Exodar in the Hollow Center, and we were studying the different demon races of the Legion. And so what I did is I had some members come speak on those topics. Some people did really well. So within the Protectorate, there's a title that I've added called a Protectorate Prime, and they will basically step up in situations where maybe Vascos isn't available, or in events to help run and organize them. And so a lot of people in the Protectorate, they like that militaristic theme, so a lot of what I try to feature in it is designed to revolve around that. And even if people are part of other houses, but they want to participate in an event, they're still welcome to.
Oh, awesome. Awesome. Alrighty, ma'am. Aeiia, who leads the civilian division?
The civilian division is led by Garoda here, who's also our treasurer, and it's also led by Justicar Epelvik, who at the moment isn't present, but those two do a good job heading up the civilian sect.
All right, so Garoda, how do I get promoted within your division, ma'am? And tell us a little bit about it.
Well, the civilians is kind of where the odds and ends go, so if you have a character that's maybe not the traditional hack and slash or Healy type person, this is where you'd come. Within the civilians, it's not quite the same because it's not very military or anything. There's not really a lot of promotions per se, but you definitely start kind of at a lower rung, just getting to know everybody, stuff like that. And, then you get to the second step, and sometimes we'll give you a title if you're a mage, per se, like maybe like Arcanist, if you're a tradesman, like Master Forged Master, or something like that, like Viruses, something like that.
Awesome. And then finally, we have the Spiritualists. So who leads that division, ma'am?
It's led by Light Warden Rua, and then assisting her also is Farseer Kalam.
And so, Rua, tell us a little bit about the Spiritualists.
So, the Spiritualist sect is basically any Draenei character who has a particular connection to the spiritual forces that, run through Azeroth and the other worlds we travel on. Primarily, we're made up of priests, paladins, and shaman. We have several healing characters, clerics, the spiritual leaders. We do have the more warrior types, basically anyone who goes into combat wielding the forces of the light, the elements, that kind of stuff.
Okay. And how do you get promoted within your division, ma'am?
We don't have promotions the way Vascos and the Protectorate does, because we are primarily healers. We'd like to do things a little more quietly, I suppose. We do have events, and you can gain experience through those as your character learns to heal or deepens their connection with their chosen spiritual element.
So, Aeiia, going above and beyond the divisions, how do we get promoted beyond that?
So the divisions beyond the sects of Protectorate, Spiritualists, and the civilians are pretty much the officer corps. And the officer corps is called the Exarch's Council. And as the name suggests, the Exarch's Council is Aeia's council that advises her on pretty much all manner of things depending on each officer's specialty. And at an in-character level, this is obviously very helpful to her, but out of character, it's immensely helpful because we have a group of different officers that are probably good at very at specific things. So together, it's many hands lighten the load, and we really work well together.
Well, awesome. And so above the Exarch's Council is what rank?
That would be me, and that would be the Exarch of Te Amun.
Okay, and so Turwinkle just has to defeat you in the Arena of Blood to get that title?
Kalamar.
Oh, excellent. Excellent. So we will meet after this interview, and Turwinkle will be taking over the guild. All right, wonderful. It sounds like you guys have a well-organized guild, and that always makes a guild more successful, don't you think?
I think so. I do.
All right, folks. Well, when we come back, we're going to talk about the guild events that the Te Amun participate in, and so we'll be right back with that. Alrighty, folks, and we are back. And so, Aeiia, we're talking guild events. So, how many guild meetings do you have? Do you folks have guild meetings in the guild?
We do. So we have meetings, and sometimes they're out of character, and sometimes they're in character. Typically for things that need to be handled in and out of character at the same time, they tend to be more meetings between Aeiia and the Exarch's Council. But beyond that, they're mostly RP events. So they range from D&D style RP action events to, we've done a couple of RP PvP. We're involved in a lot of political events server-wide. We have some fantastic socials. And we also have Kalamar, which is our pretty much our Draenic traditional competition that we have almost weekly. And that's a lot of fun. So, but I have Vindicator Vascos and Garoda to explain that.
Okay, so Vascos, go ahead, sir.
All right. So some of the events that Te Amun is most popular for, folks on Moonguard will definitely know who Kavaru is, one of our officers. If you are a fan of BioWare storytelling, where it's like a back and forth interaction where choices matter, you'll especially like Kavaru's events. He's one of the few people on the server who I've seen who can handle a raid side group, and with each post he can actually react to each person with what they're doing in the comment and how in the event and how it relates to the enemy they're attacking. So those ones are immensely popular. And then Garada here has some very fun socials.
All right, take it away, Garada.
As well, we have socials, and the socials that we have are fairly popular, especially within our own guild. We just recently had a really big 8-year anniversary party. That was really popular. We had all of our allies there, and there was dancing. We specifically do fortune telling as well. That's something that Rua usually does. And as well, there was food. I believe that the Four Winds did for us. You know, just stuff like that. Usually, those are ways for everybody to really get their single characters in, to start forging relationships, as well to talk about other campaigns that may be going on within our other events.
Awesome. Now, Aeiia, how busy is each week in the guild, do you think?
It's pretty busy. It does vary on the season. Sometimes summers and holidays tend to be the slower of the seasons, probably from June through early half of August and probably around Christmas time because everybody's involved in real life. But beyond that, we have events several times a week, so there's something for everybody. Lately, we've been doubling up on events, so you can open our calendar and almost every night you're going to find at least one event, sometimes two, and you can choose an RSVP from there which ones you want to go to. So there's kind of a flavor for everybody.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, nothing better than to be in a guild that's actually doing things rather than nothing going on, because why be in a guild if nothing's going on? So excellent. So folks, when we come back, we're going to talk about the current storyline and what Te Amun is up to in its storyline at this point in time. So we'll be right back with that. All right, folks, and we are back. And Aeiia, we had someone show up. Who do we have here?
We have Vindicator Ezekiel, and he is our emissary to the Silverhand chapter and Court of Uther, along with Vindicator Vascos.
Oh, awesome. Thank you for joining us, sir. And we'll have you step back in line there. Alrighty, ma'am, we are talking not guild events, we're talking about the current storyline, actually. And so, ma'am, what is the current storyline for the guild?
So we have a very basic storyline as we're coming to a close in the expansion. And right now there's been a lot of events that's wrapped us up in Draenor. And being a Draenei order that centers ourselves and prides ourselves on preserving the Draenei, we do find our home on this new Draenor and pretty much just having a second shot at making a home here and integrating Draenei from both timelines into this new Draenor. Now, currently, as things are coming to a close, we're involved in quite a few different campaigns. We're actually becoming a little more involved in alliance politics than we have been. We recently finished a pretty involved campaign in Tanaan, and in the past we've worked together with Silverhand chapter, some of our closest allies, in cleaning up Shatrath City, and that's been really actually a lot of fun. So there's usually something pretty big going on, but there's a lot of different threads at once. So I'm going to let Vindicator Vascos go over those.
Alrighty, sir, go for it.
Okay, so something that we've recently become a part of is something called the Court of Uther. It's basically a giant stage for Paladin Judicial RP. There's different chapters that represent different parts of the Eastern Kingdoms and beyond, and Ezekiel here actually made a motion within that court that got Te Amun recognized as the leaders of the Hand of Argus chapter, which Vascos is heading up with a wonderful supporting cast. So that was a big deal for us, and it's going to open the door to a lot more RP with our allies.
Now, Aeiia, knowing what we know about the next expansion, Legion, have you guys started incorporating that into the guild roleplay at all?
We have, and we're just in the beginning stages, but given that the Legion is pretty much the ultimate adversary of the Draenei, you bet we've got something pretty cool that we're planning. So it's still in the works, and the more we find out about the expansion, the more ideas we get and how we're going to set that up. But we think it's going to breathe a lot of life into Draenei RP again, even though this expansion isn't necessarily Draenei-centric.
Right, it's looking certainly like it's going to be more Blood Elf and Night Elf. But, well, that is great. And so, folks, if you want to get in on that wonderful creation and pretty much on the ground floor of that role play, now's the perfect time to join this awesome guild. And so with that, we are going to come back and get to probably my favorite part of the interview, and that's where we talk to individuals within the interview about what they like about being in Te Amun. So we'll be right back as we start talking about what they like about being in their guild. So we'll be right back with that. Alrighty, folks, we are back, and we are, again, at my favorite part of the interview. That's where we talk to folks about what they enjoy about the guild they're in, because there is literally hundreds of guilds they could join, but they've chosen this one. And so up first is Ezekiel. He's a protectorate of the Te Amun. He's Ezekiel, the Light of Dawn. He's a level 100 Draenei Paladin. Hello, sir.
Hello, Turwinkle.
Now, Ezekiel, what do you enjoy about being in Te Amun?
What I enjoy most is it's not a typical guild where there's military events all throughout the thing. Those guilds are a dime a dozen, but it really focuses a lot on the Draenei culture and the preservation of that culture, which you don't see in a lot of guilds. And it has all the aspects of one of the greats, but it has the feel of a small guild. It reminds me a lot of my hometown of Cincinnati, where it's a big city with a small town feel. It's a big guild with a small guild feel, where you know everyone and everyone knows you.
Well, that is a fantastic answer, sir. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Alrighty, folks. Up next is Epelvik. He is the Exarch Council of Te Amun. He is Epelvik, the Horde Breaker, a level 100 Draenei Paladin. Hello, sir.
Hello, Turwinkle.
Now, sir, that is a lovely Texan accent you have there.
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Now, sir, being from Australia, you are in Australia, correct?
That's right. Yeah.
And what brings you to the U.S. servers?
Well, one, there's no RP servers on the Oceanic Realms, and two, back when I first started getting into roleplay back in 2010, I came across this guild, and so I transferred my character over from a PvE server over to Moonguard.
Oh, excellent. Always love to hear, people from all parts of the world getting together and role-playing. That is awesome. And so, sir, actually, what do you enjoy about being in this guild?
Essentially, the thing I most like about being in this guild is the real sense of community it brings. Everyone, no matter where they're from or what they do, really comes together in a really great way, and essentially just really enjoys their role play and the events we run. And it's really good to see so many different people coming together and creating really good story.
All right, sir. Well, that is an excellent, excellent answer, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, too.
Alrighty, folks. Up next is Vascos, Exarch's Council of Te Amun. He's Peacekeeper Vascos. He's a level 100 Draenei Paladin. Hello, sir.
Hello, Turwinkle.
Well, it's certainly good to speak to a fellow Alaskan, sir.
Hey, nice to speak to you too. We come from the same neck of the woods, eh?
That's right, sir. Now, sir, what do you enjoy about being in the Te Amun?
That's a good question, and honestly, it's changed quite a bit over the months that I've been here. Originally, when I came to Te Amun, I didn't have a solid idea of who I wanted Vascos to be, and I was still kind of getting into the lore. So actually, the officers at that time really helped me point me in the good direction for kind of learning the lore and also understanding how it relates to the things that you find in game. And so the fact that they helped me kind of hammer out a character that seems to be pretty well received was a very nice aspect. And now over the months that I've been able to become involved in other things, it's been a lot of fun. There's a lot of great people here. It feels like a community. I think a lot of people have been in guilds where you don't really feel like it's like you enjoy yourself, but it doesn't really feel like home. And I feel like Te Amun feels like home. Like I don't see myself leaving this guild for the foreseeable future. It's a fun place to be. There's a lot of good people, and as far as the officers go, there's a lot of officers who always step up and help out with things. You never feel like you're carrying the load, which I've felt in the past in other guilds that I've helped out in. So it's a great place to be.
All right. Well, great answer, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Turwinkle.
All right, folks. Up next is Garada, Exarch's Council of Te Amun. Starcaller Garada. She's a level 100 Draenei Mage. Go Mage. Hello, ma'am.
Hi.
What spec are you?
I'm a Frost Mage.
Ah, even better. Wonderful. Now, ma'am, what do you enjoy about being in Te Amun?
It's going to sound really cheesy and corny and dumb, but, these people are, my family. I care about them a lot. Sometimes I'm not able to be on as much as I want to just with school and everything, which sucks. But, I mean, they never hold that against me or anything. Every time I come back online, it's as if I haven't been gone a day. It's really refreshing because, you don't necessarily get that feeling a lot with a lot of guilds. As well, of course, the RP is fantastic. And, these people are really always here for you no matter what. It's a unique thing, I think, to find, especially in, a place like Moonguard.
Oh, well, that is a great answer, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Alrighty, folks. Up next is Kadala, Protectorate of Te Amun. Kadala, the Savage Hero, is a level 100 Draenei Paladin, and unfortunately doesn't have a mic. And so, Adian, what does she say about what she enjoys about being in the guild?
Kadala says, I enjoy being in Te Amun because, much like what was mentioned previously, it's much more than a simple group of people. It's a community full of individuals who care deeply for the lore of the Draenei and for abiding to a higher standard than most. I also appreciate that they have welcomed a character such as mine that can be a bit radical in a lot of in-character situations.
All right, well, that is a fantastic answer. Thank you very much, Kadala. Alrighty, folks, up next is Rane, Initiate of Te Amun. Twilight Vanquisher Rane is a level 95 Draenei warrior. Hello, ma'am. And Rane also does not have a mic, but she has written her wonderful answer to Aeiia. So, Aeiia, what does she have to say?
Rene says, what I've enjoyed most about Te Amun so far are the different kinds of people in the guild from different backgrounds that have different views on everything.
Well, that's wonderful because, again, that's what makes a lot of these guilds so great is that you can incorporate people from different backgrounds, different cultures, all parts of the world to make a wonderful home for a lot of folks and make a great, great guild. So that is a great answer. Thank you very much, Renee. Alrighty, folks, up next is Rua, Exarch's Council of Te Amun. It's Rua the Exalted, a level 100 Draenei Paladin. Hello, ma'am.
Hi, Turwinkle.
Now, ma'am, what do you enjoy about being in Te Amun?
Oh, there's so many things I enjoy about this guild. I think I'll have to go the sappy route that Garoda went. I've been in this guild for almost 8 years now, and it's at the point where it's starting to feel like a family. The officer corps, though we sometimes squabble just like siblings, I wouldn't trade them for anything else. They're really sweet people, the RP is amazing, and they've helped me so much with developing my character and really enjoying the game.
All right, well, that is a great, great answer. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you.
Alrighty, folks, up next is Aeiia, Spiritualist of Te Amun. Aeiia, the Beloved, is a level 100 Draenei Priest. Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
Now, ma'am, who have you brought up here with you?
Oh, that's Underhoof. That's her reluctant cat. He's adopted her, and she used to try to get rid of him, but now she's kind of embraced cat ownership.
Okay.
She doesn't particularly like him. He just won't leave her alone.
He's Underhoof, is that...
Exactly.
Right.
He got his tail stepped.
Alrighty. Now, ma'am, what do you enjoy about being in Te Amun?
Probably mostly is the accessibility. You know, I read and I RP on Wormrest also, and so even though when I joined I couldn't come to a lot of the formal events because I had schedule conflicts, there was still almost always some form of RP going on that I could participate in, and I was really able to quickly and easily get involved and really solidify Aeia's character, and kind of her place in the guild and among her people. Also, I talk a lot, and these people are friendly, a little raucous sometimes. And they really seemed to kind of make an effort to make me feel and her feel not just welcome, but wanted.
All righty. Well, that is an excellent, excellent answer. It's always nice to be in a guild where you feel included, and, again, it's like family, isn't it?
It is. And, yeah, I developed that kind of relationship with most of my guilds. So.
All right, great.
All right. Thank you.
You bet. Thank you. Alrighty, folks. Up next is Darnashi, Initiate of Te Amun. Darnashi, the Light of Dawn, a level 100 Draenei Priest, and does not have a mic, but has written the answer of what he enjoys about being in the guild to Aeiia. And so, Aeiia, what does he say?
He says, to start out blankly, Te Amun is by far the most active and sophisticated role-playing guild I've personally ever been a part of. And all of this being in the best ways. I first joined this friendly and supportive community a few years ago, and after a little over a year of absence, it was only inevitable that I returned to the fray. The stability, community, and activity of the guild are what keep it so engaging, and that is what I, Dinarshi, like about Te Amun.
Wow. Give that man a promotion, ma'am.
Done.
All right. Excellent job, and well said. Thank you very much. Alrighty, folks, up next is Naeli, Initiate of Te Amun. Naeli, the Light of Dawn, is a level 93 Draenei Paladin. Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
And so, ma'am, what do you enjoy about being in Te Amun?
Personally, I really like mature roleplay, as in I like to speak in full sentences and carry on the story. So in Te Amun, I find that it's very linear, and basically it's very nice to have a roleplay that carries on through a story and instead just makes it up on its own and carries it through there. So that's probably one of the reasons why I joined this guild and why I enjoy it so much. So thanks, guys.
Oh, that is a great, great answer. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you.
Alrighty, folks, up next is Frias, the Protectorate of the Te Amun. It's Frias the Insane, a level 100 Drane warrior. Hello, sir.
Howdy.
Now, I love this transmog. How long did it take you to make?
I've had it since around Wrath of Lich King, and it took the entire arena season to get that.
Yeah, man, that is a forbidding outfit, sir.
Thank you.
Or foreboding, as it were. So, sir, what do you enjoy about being in Te Amun?
The community, really. I came to this server about a year ago, getting away from the hardcore raiding group, and one of the first guilds I actually came across was Te Amun, and Vascos came across to me in Stormwind and recruited me, and ever since then I've kind of just fallen in love with the family.
Now, what got you started role-playing, sir?
Long time ago, I started role-playing in an old game called Tibia. It was a 2D top-down type game. It was one of the first of its kind, and I kind of started hosting dice competitions in that game. And one thing led to another, and I eventually got into EverQuest, found myself in a role-play guild, and it just kind of went from there.
Well, excellent answers on all fronts, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, folks, up next is Volkl, Initiate of Te Amun. Volkl the Horde Breaker is a level 100 Drane Death Knight. And again, no mic, but once again has sent his answer to the lovely Aeiia. And so what does he have to say, ma'am?
Volkl says that what he enjoys most about Te Amun are the people. The guildies in Te Amun are open-minded, friendly individuals who welcome me into the guild with open arms. I also enjoy the aspect of being in a heavily lore-abiding guild too, and that is what Te Amun is.
All right, well, wonderful, wonderful answer. Thank you very much, sir. Alrighty, folks, up next is Garrotin, Initiate of Te Amun. It's Garrotin. He's a level 55 Draenei Shaman. And once again, no mic. And once again, we've got poor Aeiia reading all these awesome answers. Ma'am, what does he have to say about what he enjoys about being in the guild?
He says, I enjoy the atmosphere that Te Amun provides for every individual person within it, and how in this guild, we definitely focus on all of us as different, unique people, as well as at the whole. Whether it be participating in very well thought-out roleplay events based off Draenic culture, allied events, or even political events within the Alliance faction. Joining this guild has really helped me improve in many different skills, definitely proving Te Amun's ability to help others willingly and easily. Even in the short time I've been here, the fact that this guild is like a family is amazing. There are always people willing to help others without a second doubt, and I find it makes this guild the best that I could find for my needs and wants. As for that, I do not see myself leaving this guild, let alone ever consider it, through any time I continue to take part in the role-playing genre.
Wow. Okay.
Brilliant.
That
Brilliant.
is quite the answer. Thank you very much, Garrotin. Alrighty, folks, up next is the guild leader herself, Aeiia, Exarch of Te Amun, Aeiia, the Light of Dawn, a level 100 Draenei Paladin. Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
So your question's a little different in that, what do you enjoy about leading this guild? Coming on day after day to take the guild in the direction that you are all wanting to go. So what is the motivation behind that?
Oh, that's a question that has a lot of threads, and I think especially the people who've been with me through either the whole 8 years or a lot of it, they've known I've had my ups and downs, but I think we're unique in that we've had the same leadership in this guild the whole time running, from the very beginning to currently. And I think that in spite of the things that change in my real life that can make gaming a little more difficult than others, and the changes the game goes through and the guild goes through, I really feel like it's just the aspect of familiarity and having a second home, and that no matter where I travel and where I go, I have some of the same people that I can take with me. It's a really great way for me to kind of escape and indulge in a lot of my creativity, whether that's artistically in writing. And since Burning Crusade came out, and even in the beginning stages, in the precursor to that expansion, I love the Draenei. They just really resonated with me. And so having a race that I feel like lore-wise I really respect and identify with and connect with spiritually and kind of artistically as far as kind of how they run their society and their culture. I have all these great people to spend time with who really put up with a lot from me. So, as I'm sure they'll be happy to tell you, it's just been a really good journey overall. And I feel like being around the people I have that I've learned and grown, and it's definitely not been a dictatorship. I think everybody in here, whether they're new or they've been here for the long haul, absolutely has a say in the guild and how it's formed, mostly positively.
All right. Well, that is an excellent answer, ma'am. Thank you very much. And so, folks, with that, we're going to come back and find out if we missed anything during the guild interview. And so we will be right back with that. All righty, folks, and we are back. And so, Aeiia, did we miss anything during the interview that you'd like folks to know about the guild?
No, I think we covered quite a bit for now.
Alrighty. Well, folks, again, if you are looking for a fun guild to join here on Moonguard, again, you can't do better for your Draenei than Te Amun. A wonderful guild here, a lot of fun. And so, Aeiia, give a shout out to those folks.
Moonguard is definitely our home away from home. And we've been here for 8 years, and we're not going anywhere, and for the most part, the community's been awesome. And so if you're thinking about role-playing a Draenei or you have one already, then give us a shot because I think you'll find a good place here. And we really embrace Blizzard lore and Draenei lore, and we just like to have a good time.
All right, there you go, folks. And so, folks, when we come back, we're going to give a great big goodbye to this awesome guild, Te Amun. We'll be right back with that. Alrighty, folks, and we are back. And so, Aeiia, thank you so much for all of you folks taking the time to answer all of Turwinkle's pestering questions tonight about your awesome guild, ma'am.
It was a lot of fun. We're really glad to have met you.
Yes, I agree. We just had a ball here tonight. So again, folks, let me just once again state, if you are looking for a home for your Draenei, look no further than Te Amun here on Moonguard. These guys are a lot of fun. They know their stuff. They know their Draenei lore. And again, a fun guild to join. And so with that, we are going to hearth back to the Shrine of the Seven Stars for our final thoughts on this awesome guild, Te Amun. And so, looks like everybody's getting out their, what are those, the Naru? What's going on here, guys? What's Vasco, what's going on here?
Well, Turwinkle, what you have done for the RP community and RP characters across not only Moonguard, but Wyrmrest Accord and many other realms has not gone unnoticed. And Te Amun has said some prayers on your behalf, and from this point forward, you will always have a Naru with you to follow you wherever you go.
Oh, well, that's awesome. In fact, you guys were so kind to give me the QT as well, or Kute, or however you pronounce it. And
yep.
So thank you so much, guys. That's awesome.
Before you go, there is a special blessing that each Draenei has, and we would like to cast it on you.
Okay. Wow. Okay. That's right. Turwinkle will never be hurt again.
As our late Vindicator Murad says, in the light, we are one.
Indeed.
Goosebumps.
Bye.
Alrighty, folks. Well, we made it safe and sound back to the shrine here. And boy, Turwinkle, that was a lot of fun, wasn't it, sir?
Sure.
All right, sir. Well, let's give those great guys a wonderful thank you for allowing us the opportunity to speak with them tonight.
Allow me to express my deepest thanks.
Certainly. And so, folks, if you like this episode, click that like button. If you'd like to comment on this episode or on any of our previous episodes, please do so below. Let us know what you liked and what you didn't. And finally, if you'd like to subscribe, well, we would love to have you. And so hit that subscription button today. Well, excellent job as always, Turwinkle. And Turwinkle, we will see you next time.
I'll miss you.
We'll miss you too, Turwinkle. Bye-bye.